In a peaceful little village surrounded by rolling green hills and sparkling streams lived a simple farmer named Armin. He wasn't rich, but he was hardworking, honest, and grateful for whatever life gave him. He lived in a warm cottage with his wife, Malika, and the two of them spent their days tending to their small farm filled with chickens, cows, and a few goats. Though the couple didn't have much, they lived happily, laughing often, working together, and dreaming of a better future. One morning, as the sun began to rise, painting the sky in soft shades of pink and orange, Armin went out to feed his animals, like he did every day. But this morning felt different. When he walked to the small wooden coop at the edge of the farm, he noticed something shining brightly from inside. Curious, he pushed open the creaky door and gasped. There, sitting calmly in a nest of hay, was a goose, an ordinary-looking goose, except for the fact that beneath her rested a perfectly smooth, glowing golden egg. Armand couldn't believe his eyes. He picked up the egg carefully, feeling its surprising heaviness and warmth. "Malika!" he shouted as he ran toward the cottage. "You won't believe what I found!" Malika wiped her hands on her apron and stepped outside, her eyes widening when she saw the golden egg gleaming in Armand's hands. Together they wondered how such a miracle had happened. But they knew one thing for sure: this was no ordinary goose. The next morning, the goose laid another golden egg, each one as shiny and perfect as the first. Days passed, and every morning Armin found a new golden egg waiting for him. Slowly, the couple began selling the eggs in the marketplace, earning more money than they had ever imagined. The villagers looked at them with amazement, whispering among themselves about the lucky goose of the golden farm. With their new fortune, Armand and Malika repaired their cottage, bought better tools, and even helped their neighbors when they could. Life felt more comfortable, peaceful, and joyful. But as the weeks went by, something inside Armin began to change. The more gold he collected, the more he wanted. Instead of feeling grateful, he started worrying about how slowly the goose produced eggs, only one per day. He began imagining how much richer he could become if he had all the golden eggs at once. One night, unable to sleep, Armin tossed and turned in bed. Greed whispered in his ear, filling his mind with impatient thoughts. What if there are dozens of golden eggs inside the goose? He wondered. What if I could get them all today instead of waiting? The more he thought, the more he convinced himself it was a good idea. The next morning, with a clouded mind and trembling hands, Armin approached the goose. She looked at him with gentle eyes, trusting him completely. But greed had blinded Armin. Believing he would become the richest man in the world, he made a terrible decision. He decided to cut open the goose to collect all the golden eggs at once. Malika begged him not to. "Armin, the goose has given us so much already. Why destroy the very source of our blessings?" she pleaded with tears in her eyes. But Armin shook his head. Greed had grown stronger than his wisdom. Without thinking of the consequences, he carried out his plan. But when he opened the goose, he found nothing. No golden eggs, no treasure, only a heartbreaking truth. The goose was ordinary inside. The magic had been in its ability to lay the golden eggs one at a time. In one reckless moment, Armin had destroyed the greatest gift he had ever received. Armand dropped to his knees, realizing what he had done. The farm suddenly felt empty. The golden glow that once filled their mornings had vanished. The goose was gone, and with her went Armin and Malika's blessings. Regret washed over him. He wished he could undo his actions, but it was too late. The villagers, once inspired by Armand's good fortune, now whispered sadly about how greed had destroyed everything. Armin learned a lesson that day, a lesson so powerful that it stayed with him for the rest of his life. He understood now that patience and gratitude bring prosperity, but greed destroys even the greatest blessings. From that day on, Armin worked harder than ever to rebuild his farm. Though life was not as easy as before, he became wiser, kinder, and more appreciative of what he had. And whenever he saw a golden sunrise, he remembered the gentle goose that had once changed his life. and the mistake that taught him the value of contentment. Moral of the story: greed destroys everything. Be grateful for what you have, and blessings will continue to grow.